So we are tired, Mr. Speaker. This talking will not take us anywhere. We need action. We need action, please. Even if it means we'll deploy all the resources we have in Nigeria to protect the life of citizens. Life of a person is better than anything we can want on this world. So it's better we move up and then do something really serious than be talking without any action. If the military are having problem of equipment, deploy all the money and resources we have in Nigeria to them for them to protect our people. We cannot be providing luxury things while the people are dying. What need for? We're just wasting our time, Mr. Speaker. So I believe if the president can go around with you people within this country, I don't think you will be sitting down in this chamber or for him to be working in the villa saying that all is well. Nigeria is not well. We're on time bomb, Mr. Speaker. So we encourage every hand which are helpful to help our people. There's no point we'll be hiding under the guise of saying political issue, security issue cannot be discussed. We are all stakeholders. That's why we are here. So, Mr. Speaker, enough is enough. We should go back to the drawing board to know our mistakes and then correct our mistakes.
Good morning, sir. I'm standing here with Sector 2 Commander. The armed helicopter have just come over our head. The instruction I gave them, anything moving, they should engage it because most of my gun thrusts are not moving. Like I said earlier, we are with the leading MRAPs and the 3 battalions are fighting and deployed. Nobody is running. But what we have here, I will give you some estimates to guide your good decisions, sir. Boko Haram has fired more than 100 mortar bombs at us. They have fired more than 80 to 100 RPGs at us. In addition to more than 8 to 10 gun thrusts from every side since yesterday, we have not run, and the soldiers are not misbehaving or disobeying orders. We have casualties. I will come and see you in person on what we need to do, but we are not running. Neither is any soldier misbehaving or running. Sir, if you can look at that, that's one of our MRAP tire that is not run flat, that bullet tore. We have used more than 20 MRAP tires here. That's another one, sir. We have changed close to 250 ELOS tires due to the terrain. This is what we are facing in the Timbuktu Triangle, sir. But we are not running. We are fighting as a system, and we are doing our best to contain the situation and to achieve your mission, sir. Thank you, sir.
All the several battles that are taking place all over the country have become what I can describe as an enterprise. It is very, very clear that the dramatist personnel in the war theater in the Northeast are not interested in ending the war, because the war itself has become a very fat cow that is being milked on a daily basis, and people are generating a lot of money. Otherwise, there is no reason whatsoever, Mr. Speaker, for the embarrassing reversals of the successes achieved, especially from 2015 to date. Mr. Speaker, part of the resolution of this House must include the total withdrawal of all these armed forces in that area and their immediate replacement with a new breed of soldiers to be deployed immediately, because some of them have overstayed in that place. They are tired of the war. They want to go back home. And in line with the tradition of war and deployments, when a soldier is deployed to an area and he is tired, he is replaced immediately. You cannot take a soldier to the war front and leave him there for several years. So, Mr. Speaker, this war has dragged too long. In fact, the civil war lasted for only 3 years. Why should a war involving ragtag, lumping vagabonds last for 7 or 10, last for 10 years? So it's really unfortunate. So part of our resolution must be the total withdrawal of all the armed forces.
You didn't see them, it's indiscipline that is causing problems.
Everybody, put your weapon on safety so that you don't fire your friend.
Say it, everybody.
Yes,
Commander.
Why
I know you are crying because they kill your regular. That is not the time to cry. Look at me. That is not the time to cry.
And I'm being vindicated by the Nigerians and this hollow chamber. The other time I said, without fear of any contradiction, that substantial part of my constituency is still under the occupation of Boko Haram. I equally went further to say that substantial part of northern Borno from my state is still under the occupation of Boko Haram. The following day, some people sponsored some group of charlatans to recognize that I am equally a Boko Haram. I decided not to respond because I know there will be a time where God can vindicate me through either this chamber or through Nigerians. Sir, today, as we can see it vividly, whether I was the one that was right and they were wrong, and vice versa, only God can judge that, and Nigerians can equally judge today. Substantial part of areas occupied by Boko Haram in the hitotop point is still under the occupation of Boko Haram. I still maintain my position. Another thing, Your Excellency, I'm even surprised. And I will move as an amendment to this motion, calling on the immediate replacement of the service chiefs in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, when I contested election, I visited all my constituency, and I know the risk I took to follow all these areas. I have sacrificed my life. I am not stupid. I know the consequences of unveiling a masquerade. I may be declared dead tomorrow, but I will be happy to die if my people can live in peace, can go back to their farmlands, schools can be open, people can go to school, so that out of school children can be out of street. Mr. Speaker, we have to tell each other the truth. Nigeria is the country we have, and we have to do everything within our limit as parliamentarians, as legislators, to safeguard the territorial integrity of this country.
Good morning, sir. General Denny. Sir, the soldiers are not running. The 3 battalions are standing and fighting, though we have casualties. The intelligence assessment concerning the Vindication triangle is very wrong, sir. Since yesterday, we have been met by very strong resistance, more than pockets of Boko Haram. This morning, from every flank, not less than 15 gun trucks are facing us. These people have fired more than 100 RPG at us, and have fired several mortars at us. And they have fired more than 100 RPGs and so many mortars on us. This is the true situation, sir. I'm here on the ground. This is General Buba here, sir. No any general is running or not leading the men. Sir, look at this soldier. They are not running away. Neither is any of them afraid. We are good to go. We are good to go, but here now these things are working against us. Yes. Thank you, sir.
At his pleasure. But Mr. Speaker, there is something called shame. Those security chiefs, just sit down and think about what is happening now in this country. Are you pleased? Are you proud? Will it be that in your time, this country will degenerate to such a level, and you proudly refer to yourself as a security chief in this nation? I think some people should resign. Mr. President's style has not been to sack people. He has been nice to everybody. But you who is bearing that position, are you happy with what is happening? Look at lives that are going every day. Why not honorably resign? Mr. Speaker, I would suggest like what happens during wartime in history and across the world. Massive recruitment and training. I think that is what we need at this time. Massive recruitment and training. Let recruitment centers be open for the police, for the army, in Damaturu, in Yola, in Meduguri, all over the country.
Massive recruitments. Even if some people would be got into the system on a temporary basis, we can overwhelm our enemies. Nigeria can overcome. This country must survive. Let us come together and save it. Let people volunteer. Let government open stations across the country where people can volunteer. We have reached that stage. And let there be massive recruitments, massive training. Don't tell me we can't fund it. What are the security votes for? There is enough security votes at the state level, at the federal level to take care of this. And I believe by God's grace, we shall overcome. And Nigeria will enjoy peace again. And we are not going to run away. And God will save our country for us.
Your inaugural speech, where you told us that Nigerians are watching. And there are times that we'll have to take decisions that will shake the table a little. A lot has been said on this debate. I know, Mr. Speaker, that Mr. President, under Section 218 of our Constitution, has the prerogative to appoint and keep these service chiefs in office. But like my brother rightly said, there's what we call change. And people should know, when you take responsibility, there must be that room for you to take full responsibility and liability. If you're doing something, we cannot continue to do the same thing every time and expect a different result. It's solely people that are considered are not of sound mind that should do the same thing and expect different results. Mr. Speaker, where we are now, the position we are right now, there is need for us to change our system. Mr. President should look at the service chief, because here we are always calling on Mr. Speaker. You are leading us. The head determine a lot of things that happen. The service chiefs are the heads of these agencies. There is what we call the law of diminishing return in economics. Mr. Speaker, these people have lost touch with reality. They sit in their Oval Office. Now they even sponsor television program to tell us what is happening. And the story they are telling us is different from what is happening out there in our communities. There is need for Mr. President to look at them, look at the service chief very well, make a change so that somebody can come with fresh ideas. We have good people, armies trained, both within and outside the country, that can handle those positions. Let us bring in fresh heads. Let us bring better ideas, because the ideas that they had is long overstretched, and like I said, the law of diminishing return has set in, and they are no longer giving us what we want. This is our country, like somebody rightly said, we have nowhere to go. It is growing gradually. In Delta now, we are looking for army to guide us, because whatever happened here one day, if care is not taken, we spill over to the southern part of the country, we spill to the eastern part of the country, and where are we going to go? We have enough problem on our hand. I think having curtailed it this extent, now that it's moving, Mr. Speaker, there's need to change the head so that Nigerians can go to sleep with their eyes closed, believing that we have enough people, generals,